Hi, I'm Steven and I invented the Unibrau brew system. Today I'm going to show you the plate chiller. So the chiller comes on its own or with the basic connection kit or the quick disconnect connection kit. Now the basic connection kit is a little bit cheaper, but also it doesn't disconnect from the chiller, making sterilization a little bit more of a challenge. You actually have to manually use a wrench and unscrew the barb fittings which connect onto the chiller for the basic connection kit. For the quick disconnection kit, you're basically leaving these quick disconnects in place, and you can sterilize this in the oven just by removing it. So I'm going to show you how to assemble them. Now we've got with both of the connection kits, we've got 8 feet of tubing on each end, on the supply and the discharge end. I'm going to try to take this apart here. And one of them is the sink connection side and a clamp. And then we have an adapter for the faucet and a gasket. And we have the 2 barbs. So firstly, to attach the barbs, you're going to want to do this times 2. I'm just going to show us one of the connections. Use Teflon tape, and it's not included, so you're going to have your own Teflon tape. It's 90 cents at a hardware store. You want to do a couple wraps to ensure a leak-free seal. And by a couple, I say at least 4 wraps, but I mean, hey, if you want to put a few more than 4 wraps in, be my guest. You just won't be able to tighten the barb fitting as tightly. And you're always going to want to finish it off with a wrench, so you're going to hand tighten it until it doesn't go any further, and then finish it off with a wrench. You're going to want to check before you use it for the first time, make sure it's not leaking. Now I'm just going to do this side with the basic connection kit. And so you would be taking one of these tubes, and so this is the water inlet. So you're going to want to use the side that has the brass fitting. This is your water inlet side. Don't forget the hose clamp. You're going to put that on the barb, and you're going to tighten that with a screwdriver. Okay. Now for the quick disconnect kit, we're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to take one of the male fittings, but you're going to first use the Teflon tape. Again, I'm going to say you want to use at least 4 wraps, maybe more. Always go in the clockwise direction. I want to leave that open there. Clockwise direction. And you're going to finish that with a wrench. Okay. You're going to push the female fittings on. You're going to tighten that up with a screwdriver, or a hex driver you can use as well. And on the output, this will go to the sink. So you can see the difference between a quick disconnect being simply push to disconnect versus the standard fitting kit. Now I will say, this plate chiller is our best performer. Compared to our Counterflow chiller, this will cool a little bit quicker than the Counterflow chiller. It's got 24 plates, and you can see the dimensions. They're really quite large surface area. Very efficient. And what's nice is if you've got a cool input water temperature, you can throttle the output. And by throttling the output, you can do that, on the Unibrau brew system. You can throttle the output, use your pump, and you should be able to get in a single pass the temperature, as long as your source water temperature is cooler than your yeast pitching temperature, you should have no issues at all. When it gets a little more challenging with one of these types of chillers is if your source water isn't cold enough, and that's where the Counterflow chiller has its advantages. The Counterflow chiller being able to throw it in an ice bath. This doesn't work quite as well throwing it into an ice bath to chill. And what I mean by that is you make your connections to the water side to the wort side of the chiller, and by submersing it into an ice water bath, it would give it some more effectiveness being a plate chiller, but it wouldn't be as effective as using the counterflow chiller and dropping that in the bath. To sanitize this, I prefer using the quick disconnect kit because it's just so easy. You can disconnect it. You don't have to manually unwrench these and then re-Teflon tape and attach everything. And you can just throw this in your oven at 400 degrees for an hour and it will sterilize it clean. I may have used the word sanitize. I meant to say sterilize. And always, before using this chiller, you want to run your boiling wort through it to sterilize it before you use it. You want to do that for at least 5 minutes. Between 5 and 10 minutes is usually what I do. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like it, share it, subscribe, and if you've got any video ideas for us that you'd like to see, please put them in the comments below. Thanks.